Okay, I'll do it. I will pick up the mantle on this one. I've been looking around to see if anybody else wanted to step up to plate, but I'm not seeing any volunteers, so I'll do it. But make no mistake, I'm not doing this for myself. I'm doing this because I feel like it is my responsibility, nay, my duty, to all of you. So I'm here to announce today, on February 17th, 2020, that I, Matthew Paul Esquire, Jr., Senior the Third, will dedicate himself to talking about every sexy bunny girl in the entirety of anime. The word hero does not get thrown around very often, and I'm not so arrogant that I would claim myself to be the greatest hero in world history and all of the cosmoses beyond, but if you wanted to call me that, I certainly would not object to it. Alright, so it started with Carrot, and here we are today with a new series and a new sexy bunny girl. Today we will be talking about the rabbit hero, MIRKO. Life is truly magnificent. Alright, so let me take you back to when MIRKO was first revealed into the story. That was a happy day had by all, and it almost very nearly caused world peace. But anyway, it was during the Billboard chart announcement in My Hero Academia. It's a big deal in the My Hero Academia world. I think it's like twice a year they come out with the rankings. This is a shonen manga. You need to have battle rankings, damn it, okay? And so we get the list of like the best professional heroes in all of Japan. And we're like, alright, let's see what they all have. And you know what? Some of them, I gotta be honest with you, were okay. Others were kind of disappointing. We got the Dragon Lady, Ryukyu, and I'm like, oh, okay, Dragon Lady, that's pretty cool. And she's only number 10. So let's see where else this is going to go. And then we got a sentient washing machine. Is his quirk just to turn into a washing machine? But alright, I mean, he's good with kids, I guess, so that's good. We got the shield hero, which I prefer Naofumi to this guy who's named after the worst part of the pizza. So, okay. Oh, we got Sexy Beak. Yeah, he's cool, I guess. We got an edgy ninja. Alright, fine. But then we get greatness. Hero number 5, which you're about to riot right then and there, but hero number 5, the highest ranked female hero in all of Japan, the rabbit hero, Rumi Usagiyama. Her hero name, MIRKO. She shows up on the scene, and everybody immediately forgets about all the other. I mean, like, I feel bad for Endeavor, because he really wants to be seen as the #1 hero and all that stuff, but you know, when MIRKO takes the stage, you know where everybody's eyes are going to be, alright? So, her quirk is simply rabbit, much like how you have other quirks in the My Hero Academia world, like Suyu's frog. It's just, she takes on certain aspects of a rabbit. In this case, like, the best aspects of a rabbit. She has rabbit ears. Those are her actual ears. They're not like a, you know, they're not like a headband or something. No, they're her actual ears. Very tall ears. She's got elongated feet in order to jump, because the primary technique used in the rabbit quirk is, of course, jumping, you know, really, really strong lower body strength. And to cap it all off, she also has a foofy bunny tail. Is there any practical function to the foofy bunny tail? I mean, she can shake it, it's part of her anatomy, yeah, but can she take out like a villain with the foofy bunny tail? Probably not. So in terms of battle, it probably doesn't have a lot of uses, but marketability, that goes through the roof. Now listen, every now and then, there is a character that's introduced in fiction that's like the perfect combination of traits, right? Things that you probably didn't sit back and think before, but when the character is finally introduced, you think to yourself, wow, I never even considered that angle before, but you know what? I will follow that character for the rest of my days on this planet Earth. Like, I was never sitting around in my room reading Harry Potter and thinking to myself, you know what I would be you know what kind of character I would really be attracted to? I want to see a sexy, busty bunny girl with a lot of muscles jumping around and defeating a bunch of high-end nomus. I wasn't thinking that, but MIRKO is a thing now, and God bless you, Horikoshi. Dearest Horikoshi-sensei, I am writing you this letter to give you the deepest of my thanks for your creation of the sexy muscular bunny girl, MIRKO. She has guided me through some of the most difficult moments in my life, and I hope she does not die a horrible bloody death. Sincerely yours, Tekking101. Hashtag not a furry. I'm sure many of you will probably ask me to mail that letter, and I'll tell you what right now, that even if I don't, I'm sure plenty of other people already have. Alright, so anyway, let's talk about her name. Alright, so Rumi Usagiyama. Usagiyama just literally translates to Rabbit Mountain, or Bunny Mountain, okay? I didn't know Bunny Mountain was a place. Is Mount Fuji a bunny mountain? I don't know, but apparently Bunny Mountain. It makes sense. Her motif is a bunny, and she is strong as a mountain, so I think it fits. Now, as for her first name, Rumi, when written in katakana, the Ru stands for Runa, Luna, which is another name for the moon, okay? And she also has another reference to the moon because she has a crescent on her impeccably chiseled chest, okay? So the references between rabbits and moon, many of you probably have already heard of this before because it's been referenced in other anime. It goes back to an old Japanese, and honestly just Eastern religion folklore for a while now. That's the story about a rabbit on the moon, and the reason this comes into vogue is because if you look at the moon and the parts of it that are shaded, you know, for thousands of years before we even understood what the moon really was, it kind of looks like the shape of a rabbit pounding something like a stone. And a lot of times it's been referred to as the rabbit on the moon, and he's pounding mochi, you know? And so this was referenced in old school Dragon Ball. Remember when you had, like, you know, Monster Rabbit or Monster Carrot show up, and then Goku sends him to the moon with the power pole? Remember that? And he's making mochi? That's the reference. Okay, so there's a rabbit on the moon, rabbit-shaped moon. That's why Rumi has the crescent on her chest, and yeah, that's the reference to Luna, okay? So there you go there. Also, the moon is a very large round object, and I don't even need to finish that joke at this point. Okay, so, Horikoshi, I think, understood what he's like, I created the sexy bunny girl. I'll be damned if I'm just gonna have her be a background character, or if she shows up every now and then, right? We don't get to see Crust very often. We don't get to see Edgeshot very often. We don't get to see the washing machine guy very often. We see MIRKO more often than all the other members on the Billboard chart, except for, like, Hawks and Endeavor, that are basically, like, main characters to the story at this point. In certain arcs, they are the main characters, right? But beyond that, MIRKO, she shows up when Endeavor finishes fighting against the Haya Nomu Hood, and then she shows up to kind of try to beat down Dabi, but of course he gets away, and then she shows up, and this is the spoilers coming up here, so just letting you know, spoilers for, like, the most recent chapters in My Hero Academia. If you want to continue the bunny girl awesomeness, then keep watching. But for right now, she showed up in the hospital raid to capture Ujiko, and my goodness gracious, Horikoshi was in love with her with those last two chapters. Am I not wrong? I mean, like, 2 chapters ago, she bursts in at the very end, and we get that awesome shot where she's doing that kick, and we see some things. Anyway, she goes with the kick, and she's just breaking in, and she's just using her bunny hop ability and just wrecking the freaking hallway. And she's just bouncing through, and then she just breaks through the lab. And I love how beforehand Ujiko was, like, talking about how valuable this place was, and this lab, and I have all this really important stuff here that I've been experimenting with for, like, decades, and because All for One is gone now, then progress has slowed, so I gotta make sure to keep all this stuff in perfect pristine condition. Boom! And then freaking MIRKO just barges in and just like, oh hey, are you the real one? And she just destroys like half the lab. And Ujiko's like, oh my god, no! And then she just begins to rip right toward him. And that was 2 chapters ago. And then the most recent chapter we just got this week, which has nothing to really do with why I'm making this video now. Of course not. Because, yeah. Oh, by the way, I will say another thing. I was planning on doing this video maybe a little bit later in the week, but the thing that really tipped the scale here was that my t-shirt artist, Tap, made this amazing piece of artwork right here. Did not ask them to do it. They just, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna go along and do this. And it's magnificent, is it not? Yes, so that's the thing that tipped the scale. Like, alright, I could do an Orochi video today, but Mirko. Okay, so anyway, she busts in, and she has a little bit of a problem on her hands here, because she's going up against, like, a bunch of high-end Nomus that are every bit as dangerous as Hood. A lot of them are even more dangerous. And keep in mind, Hood, I love, like, to sidetrack about that fight right now, I love that fight, okay? Because Endeavor versus Hood, that was a hard-ass brawl. Alright, that was something that really you did feel like this high-end Nomu was under construction for years with the regeneration quirks and all the meddling with All For One and Ujiko. They were making this, like, perfect Nomu that could really battle against, like, some of the strongest heroes in the world. And you really did feel that, because Endeavor had to break through his limits like 3 or 4 times in that fight. That was a really intense fight, because every time Endeavor, like, stood back up and, like, you know, prominence burns! Alright, that did it. No, it didn't! Alright! Going beyond plus ultra! Boom! Alright, did that do it? No, it didn't! Oh, shit, okay. Boom! 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 Did that do it? Damn it, no, it didn't! And it's like, holy crap, Endeavor really had to almost die there for that thing to be taken out, right? So, you have a bunch of those popping out of their tanks that are even more dangerous than Hood, because they're, like, unstable. Like, the way Ujiko said it was, like, Hood took, like, 10 hours to stabilize before, you know, he could actually be sent out to fight against Endeavor as a test. In this case, they're just all waking up at once without any time to really stabilize, and they all just start attacking the heroes. Mirko apparently is beaten down and captured, but she's still conscious. She's bleeding a little bit at the end of the chapter, and she's basically, like, looking at Ujiko and, like, you don't think I'm gonna be taken out, do you? Like, it's like, oh, little man, this is not gonna end well for you, you know? And I'm like, oh, man, this is gonna be so cool. I want to have, you know what, I like that Horikoshi does that. He really does do that with a few other heroes, where he'll just take a hero and be like, all right, let's focus that person for the actual fight right now. Like, we had Fat Gum. Fat Gum was a character that was kind of just introduced, but then he got, like, that major fight scene during the Chisaki arc and everything. Rocklock was the same deal. Ryukyu, same deal. So it's like, you know what? Yeah, let's get an all-balls-out fight between Mirko and one of the high-ends. Let's do it. Let's do a whole chapter of it. And you know for a fact Horikoshi wants to draw that, because I'm sure he's been getting a lot of reception for Mirko's design, and like, oh, we love her, and it's like, oh, I love her too. I'll draw her more. I want her more in the series. Like, all right, we can make this happen, because the last 2 chapters he drew like those full-page spreads with her in there. I think the cover page of the last chapter was Mirko. So I'm like, all right, here's what I'll do. I'm gonna give you an entire Mirko chapter with just a fight with her doing a bunch of, like, athletic twists and flips and kicks and jumps, you know, her bunny tail, her ears flapping in the wind, because you really get a sense of, like, speed and acceleration with her, where she just, like, jumps and then just uses the gathered force to just, like, rocket toward the opponent, and, like, her whole body is just, like, being pressed back with the wind pressure, but then just, boom, just punches or just kicks the opponent. It's like a damn meteorite slamming into them at, like, Mach 5, right? Ha! Anybody else still with me? Everybody else still with me? Alright, what else? Alright, this is how she dresses in her casual wear. Makes it work. I like the belt buckle. It's pretty cool, right? And I'm assuming on her days off, she also hits the gym, because, you know, she's got to stay in shape, you know? Oh, what else? Okay. I don't know where I was gonna fit this in the video, but I wrote this down just because. Alright, so do you know what the Japanese word for carrot is? Not carrot from One Piece, just the Japanese term for the vegetable, okay? It's ninjin, alright? Which kinda sounds like ninja, which both, it means that both Carrot from One Piece is in fact secretly a ninja, and it also means that Mirko, who is a rabbit and also prefers carrots as her main source, that's like her favorite food, is also a ninja. Considering her power, yes. To give you another idea to the popularity of Mirko, in the latest ending of My Hero Academia, in the anime, in Season 4, we're not even up to the introduction of this character yet in the anime. And they include her in the ending scene. We're not even in the arc yet where she's introduced, okay? We're still in the beginnings of the Cultural Fest arc. She doesn't appear until after Cultural Fest was over. We still have the whole thing with Gentle and La Brava to go through yet, but Even so, and the ending of My Hero Academia, in the second ending of season 4, we see a bunch of clips from past cultural festivals at UA. So we see All Might being, as a young man and winning the gold medal, and we see Mirio and everybody there when they were little kids. And then we, of course, see Mirko, doing like a jump, like playing volleyball or something in her school gym uniform. My God, those legs could melt steel. Okay, anyway, yeah. At the end of the day, what it takes to be a good hero in this world of My Hero Academia is not just raw power. In fact, we even got that told us again in this most recent arc in the anime, the one we're in right now, where Bakugo and Todoroki and everybody and Inasa, they have to go to the provisional license tests again, and Kami's there and everything. And Gang Orca was even telling them, like, you guys all have power. Like, that's not even debatable that you all have power, but there's more to being a hero than that, okay? So it's part of that, but it's also, like, you have to be receptive to the people around you to try to save them, in rescue situations. You also have to have, like, popularity a little bit, so you have to actually go out there in the world and, like, meet people and try to, like, you have to be friendly kind of a deal. Now, not every hero has that kind of, like, aesthetic. Like, Endeavor, for instance, certainly doesn't get around doing that, although he's getting better at it. But that just doesn't work with his brand, all right? And MIRKO, I mean, she's pretty much got all of that. I mean, right away, she's strong and she's fast, so that she can get the job done. She's number 5. She's a rabbit. Her aesthetic is a rabbit, and everyone loves bunnies. Everyone loves rabbits. I don't care who you are. You're children or adults, you love rabbits, so she's got that popularity aspect, and straight up, she's got a lot of sex appeal. So she's got that going for her, too. You throw all that together, you got a pretty solid hero in the My Hero Academia universe, okay? So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you today. I mean, I could keep talking about MIRKO for like a couple hours if you want me to, but, I gotta end this video at some point. So anyway, I will just end this by saying I hope MIRKO gets a lot more screen time in the story. Hey, we're starting this arc off on the right foot because, like, we started this off with her being very prominent, so maybe for the rest of this arc, she'll be, kind of pushed into the main cast of things. Maybe we'll get a flashback to her childhood at some point, why she decided to become a hero, a little bit more character development for her. That would be lovely, because if you're gonna pick all of the ones out of, like, maybe that's what Horikoshi was trying to do. He's like, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna introduce all of these top heroes, like, for the Billboard chart. The ones that I'm sure Horikoshi had in mind for a while now, like, these are the best heroes in Japan. I'm gonna introduce them, alright? And we're gonna see, kind of like gauge the fan base of My Hero Academia to see which ones are, like, accepted the most. Like, we already knew about Ryukyu from the Chisake arc, but it's like, oh, here's the washing machine hero. How do you feel about him? Here's Edgeshot. Remember him? How do you feel about him? But then you get to, like, a few new characters like Crust and MIRKO, and it's like, all right, who likes the bunny girl? And everyone's like, yeah, we all love her. And Horikoshi's like, all right, I'll make sure to include her in some future story arcs in the story. So that's hoping for that. Thanks to Tap for the artwork. Thanks to everybody for the continued support. Yeah, I'm gonna get going now. This will be Tekking101 signing out. This is my job now. This is my job now. Post below on any other sexy rabbit girls from anime that you would like to hear me talk about in the future. #NotAFurry. Good night, everyone.